welcome to the new tutorial, as it were. We're going to skip through this. I don't own any chapters, any DLCs, anything like that. We're in character creation screen, straight from the get-go. This is where you'll find yourself. If you're first starting off a new account, or if you're brand new to ESO. I am literally going to go along with what I know, which is a Breton Nightblade. It's what I main. I chose Red Guy there for some reason. Yeah, Breton Nightblade. It's what I started off on my main, and this will be a kind of replication of how I began life in the Elder Scrolls. Where is it? 5-6 years ago? Oh my gosh, it's kind of scary. Okay, you can go through your previews here, what they look like. I usually go with nothing on, because like if you're going to put body markings on them, yeah, you're not going to be able to see if you've got clothing on. So they go somewhere average, somewhere in the middle, just slightly to the bottom right hand corner there a little bit. I usually go pretty short. I don't know if it makes a difference, but it makes me feel like I'm running faster when I'm smaller. The taller you are, high elves look like they're really slow, even though they're moving at the exact same speed, but in my mind, my OCD, they look slower. So you can put your body markings on, etc. I'll probably spend some crown gifting for my main account to give to this one at some point. So I know that I'll probably end up with certain body markings, etc. So I'm going to go with these ones here, because, yeah, nice and basic. Torso size, bring that down. Get a bit of a shape. I don't like their arms to be really skinny, because if they're really skinny, if you get the Brassy Assassin, it makes them look like they've got really weird arms and like no elbows. So when I choose my sizes and stuff like that, it's specifically because of outfitting later on. And feet, for some reason, look massive. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. You can't see too much big of a difference, but feet and hands in particular look really huge in the game. So take them down to smaller size. I always go soft faced on a Breton. Just looks better. I'm going to go with no adornment, since I can't take it off to begin with, so I'm just going to go with no. Hairstyle, I'm going to want the hairstyle actually is on my main. I don't know why. I started off with this one, and yeah, I'm glad I got the haircut styles pack to change it, because it doesn't colour well at all. If you get like a weird colour on it, it looks different colour to the others. Actually, they've probably made a better job of it than it used to look. Let's go Ready Dead Breton, because I have brunette on my I always choose a female character to begin with, mainly because like I'm a big Bria Theron nerd. If anybody's into Star Wars. Doesn't really matter what hairstyle. That's the worst part, isn't it? The character creation. You spend hours and hours. Anything like me in this one. That'll work. Head marking. That's a little too dark, too much. No. And too light. So I'm just going to go with standard, the first one, just a little bit of makeup. Nothing too over the top crazy. I don't do too much with these. If I'm on I will change some of these if I'm on one specifically that's got really pointy ears. Bretons don't have particularly pointy ears, they do have a tiny amount of point. I'm not worried about this. Let's go with something blue. Although the green looks good as well. kind of greeny, isn't it? Yeah, that's kind of a greeny blue kind of colour. Hazel, as it were. Okay, squint, no. Eyebrows, they look normal. They're fine. As long as it looks like normal eyebrows, I never really worry about it. One thing I will say, you can pay for character appearance changes throughout, so if you're worried about being stuck with a crazy look, you can always change it later on. I'm just going with something fairly generic to begin with. Okay, you're done. Naming the character is always the worst part. If you actually not quick enough for you, and you take too long putting the name in, it'll log you out. It's a really dumb place, because if you spent ages and ages doing your character and you don't put your name in quickly here, or I'm not saying too quickly, but I've had it where it will log you out for inactivity, which is horrible when you've spent ages and ages refining and your character getting it just right. So yeah. As always, go name my character Brie or something, because it's the first one. Let's hopefully that name's not taken. I wouldn't think it would be. Let's give it a go. Now we're good to go, I think. Okay. So this is the first place you're going to end up if you don't own no DLCs, and you don't have like the new expansion. I think Blackwood coming out or Greymore. You're going to get no choices. I know they're going to get new choices, but this is the first place you are going to end up. I'm just going to plug that because I just suddenly realised I've probably been buzzing the entire time. Okay, so here we are, looking very much like Skyrim, kind of like Elder Scrolls-y, first person, which I played for like 6 months in first person before I realised I could actually go third person. You don't want to do that, trust me, not in this game. This isn't Skyrim. And it's a horrible position to be in. It's also, for me, inverted. It's not inverted right now, so when I push up, I look up. Hate that. So I'm going to make more changes that I normally make. These are the first changes I always make to, whenever I even create a character. Sometimes it'll bring you back to these kind of screens, and there's certain options that won't save on your own file. So the first changes I make, I'm going to go and check all my my settings. Custom scale, I'll set this because I cannot stand it being too close. I like a bit more to see a bit more of the screen. Depending on your screen size as well, how close you are, you might want to adjust that. But that's my preferred one. Audio, I always have the NPC subtitles on, maybe because later game you'll really need those cues. Master volume can come down just a little touch for me. I take the music down just a little bit because it can be overbearing. Everything else pretty much can stay solitary in the same. Obviously, you just set it how you want to set it, but these are just my personal preferences. Some of the most important things you're going to want to change, though, are in the gameplay options and in your combat options. Not worried about the inverse kinematics and things like that. It's really nice to look at, but like it can cause some serious issues with your horses and stuff like that, your mounts. I've found. I do have custom colours on because I want the brightness up, so I'll test. Yeah, that's nice and bright, so when I'm standing in a friendly circle it's nice and bright. Enemy circle, if I test the enemy right now, see it's quite dull. I really want to bring that up. I really want to make sure I can see that red. The worst thing you can do is if you're in a trial or a dungeon is be standing in that stupid red because you couldn't quite see it. This is personal preference for attacking the innocents on. I personally keep it off because I like the danger of accidentally light attacking and getting a bounty. It's quite interesting. One of the most important things, this one here, it's absolutely imperative you change this. I think put your ground cast abilities, quick cast on. If you don't have it on, you have it on automatic. Things like healing springs, you have to actually cast twice to put it down on the ground. You'll hit it once, and then you'll have to place it with a second hit. This way, you just aim and click and go, and it's done it. And the same with things like endless hail, any kind of ground dots that you can position. It will require you to hit twice if you do not turn this to on, and this will speed up your rotations and make life so much easier for you. I hide the polymorph helmet on because I don't want to see polymorph helmets. I want to see my face. I've actually created a character that I want to be able to see. I don't worry about any of these. I keep auto loot off because I don't have a craft bag. I would put it on if I had a craft bag, but since I'm not paying for SO Plus on this account, I'm going to keep that to off. But that again is personal preferences. All these stolen items, etc. These again, you might want to come back and check on them if you're going to do a lot of stealing, etc. But right now, yeah, I don't worry about them. Two swords I can leave to on for now. Okay, camera, this is the big one for me. I have to invert, so when I pull back on the stick I look up. It's back from just being a flight simulator player, so yeah, I have to be able to pull back and see and look up like it's the top of my head looking up. I turn the assassination camera off. This is for when you've got the Blade of Woe, and the reason I turn it off is because you can get glitched. It's great animations and there's some really interesting ones, so if you want to see those then do leave it on. But trust me, it's quicker to have it off. You'll just, yeah, you'll just fly through if you're going to do a lot of Blade of Woeing and killing. It's so much easier. Screen shake I usually knock all the way off. I hate it. It's just, it makes everything just a little bit jankier, and yeah, just don't like it. These ones here, first person, the field of visions. Yeah, I'll set it all the way out. Just, I don't ever go first person, but like, yeah, I want to see as much as possible that's going on. Not worried about the head bob because I'm not going to be in first person. Yeah, the same with the field of vision for third person. I want that field of vision. I don't want it. I want to be able to see as much as possible. I don't want to see just a little amount. Yeah. So I want to know what's going on around me. I usually put these in the middle, so my crosshairs in the middle. So therefore, when I come back out, you'll see when I go into third person, my crosshairs are right in the middle, pretty much. Just a little bit off. I can actually adjust that a little bit more. That should be closer to the middle now. Oh, it's gone to the other side now. Look at that, stupid. Let's do that. There we go. It's pretty close to middle. Yeah, it's dead center now. So right now, wherever I look or run, my crosshair's in the middle. Okay. Well, before I go back into the other ones as well with the camera interface thing, because you can see I'm still pretty close to my character again, so I can still see, you know, pretty close up. I don't like to be that close, so if you hold down on the D-pad, let's say this is on a PlayStation, so hold down on the D-pad and pull all the way out on the right stick. Yeah, you can change the camera's zoom, you push in, go all the way into first person, or pull all the way out. That's just holding down on the D-pad and using your right stick to zoom in and out. I have it all the way out because, like as I said, I want to, not because my character's tiny, I want to see a tiny character, but I want to see everything that's going on, even stuff that's going on behind me. If I'm in a dungeon and something's attacking me from behind, and I am this close in, or this close to say, I cannot see what's hitting me. So, yeah, this way. And it's especially in PvP, if you get into PvP, you've got enemies coming from all directions, so you're going to be able to see them better. Sure, it's less realistic and immersive, but it's ultimately going to make your life a lot easier. Okay, let's look at interface. I don't change an awful lot in here. Keep most things the same. One thing, yeah, I don't think actually I changed anything here. No, I don't actually. No, it's just keep it all. I usually keep all this the same, but again, it's all down to personal preference. But I will change my nameplates. I like nameplates on. It's a bit of an MMO thing. And a preference, some people like it. Again, it breaks the immersion a little bit, but it makes life easier when you can see stuff that's going on. There's lots of different things here you can change, so you can really change the and pretty much there's also done a really good job with that, being able to customize right down to the smallest detail of what you can and can't see on tops of players' heads, etc. Social, I'd take mine to medium. I just prefer it that way. I do like HUD chat on. If zone chat is not your thing, and it can get very toxic in there, so then turn it off when you're in zone and stuff. But you won't be able to see your guild chat either, which is kind of frustrating. It's one of the things that I'll just praise us. I'm going to criticise them on this one. They really do need to be able to customize this as well, so you don't see your guild chats, or you do see your guild chats, or you can only see certain guilds, or you can only see group chats. You can only, I would like that option, so we can just turn off zone chat, because zone chat can be very toxic. It can be spammed by a lot by different players. So yeah, it'd be much nicer if we could just turn it off for zone, but keep it on for our guilds. But yeah, profanity filter, I'm going to turn it to off. as much as I'd like the profanity filter on, and so I don't have to see somebody cussing or or just pretty much just constantly spamming chat with, because they're they find a safe space to swear and use curse words, and they're going to use them because their parents are out of earshot or something. It also is such a strong filter that sometimes it actually filters normal words, just because like there's a hidden curse word in there somewhere, just like even if it's like a close to the curse word, it will filter it out, so you can't even see what somebody's saying. Like if somebody's just asking for looking for group for something, sometimes it can filter something out that we use the shorthand for like SO and things like that. So yeah, I keep it off just for that reason. The auto decline duels is something it doesn't bother me. If people want to duel me, I'll either fight them if I look at them and think yeah I'll fancy it. If I don't, then I just decline. But yeah, these custom colours are nice. However, I wish they changed and they saved for your entire account. Unfortunately, it's character rather than account wide, and so you would have to change it for every character. And if you've got 18 characters, that's a lot of changing your colours about. So I just keep them as standard, unless I'm playing on my main account, in which case I'm slowly getting through my characters to get them all to the same colour. But yeah, but for now I'm just going to leave them as standard. I may change one of the guild ones if I join a guild, like my own guild that I specifically want to see the colour of, rather than seeing the others, and so I know it's my guild speaking. Then I might change that guild one. Combat. This is where I do a lot of my big changes. I'm going to change quite a lot here. You can see right now there's nothing on the screen, which is kind of nice. It's a kind of empty screen. When you enter combat, automatically your ability bar comes up, etc. When you're not in combat, you can't see it. However, you've got quite a lot of abilities on there that you might not necessarily use in combat, so you want to see them. Things like if you're sneaking around and stuff, or if you want to use your rapid maneuvers, or if there's something specific that you want to use an ability. Or you want to know how much ultimate you've got ready for going into the next fight, and you can't see it until you're in combat. I don't like that, so I set this to always show. My attribute bars, for the exact same reason, I set this to always show. Resource numbers, I like to see both. Some people's screens aren't conducive, aren't big enough to be able to see both, but so you might want to just see percentage rather than number. Ultimate number, as I said, yes, I want to see that. That's the one thing that I keep this on for. Combat tips I'm not worried about. Combat text I'll have on. I'm not got any pets or anything, so I'm not going to worry about changing those. But if you have got pets, if you want to make yourself look like a god healer, you can turn to overhealing on. But yeah, not worried about that. Okay, so the buffs, debuffs, I'm going to put this on always show, just like my ability bars. This is going to be slightly above my ability bar, and it's also going to be the one that's on the enemies, and so I can always see what's running, and especially good for knowing when your food's about to run out. So buffs on, self buffs on, self buffs, debuffs set to on as well. I have target debuffs on. I don't worry about anything that's from others, because like otherwise it's just you see everybody's all the stuff on the boss. Some people like that, especially guild leaders and trial leaders. They might actually really like to see what debuffs are being put on something, and if everybody's running everything that they need to be running. I'm not going to micromanage like that, so yeah, I only need to see my own, so not worried. I do keep the long and permanent effects on. I never used to keep permanent effects on because it keeps your Wonderstone on, etc. But like, and it can get a bit cluttered. But there are some now abilities, or some now debuffs that you don't get to see if you don't have the permanent on. Things like if you're in VMAL and stuff like that, when you're in endgame raids. And so like, yeah, I keep that just sort of switched on. So I'm pretty much set up now. You can see my ability bar. I've got nothing on it. I can see how much health I've got, and stamina and magicka. And so yeah, we're good to go. Got no weapon or anything yet, but after all that, we're finally ready to get going. But I'd say it's going to save you a lot of hassle later on to have all those things already set up. Okay, and we're going to get ourselves out of the Wailing Prison. Let's go. And I'll tell you one thing I will do as well once I'm out here is I'm going to take this sword. Now, once you get this sword, she says equip it, which is great. So you ready your weapon, you press R2, you can equip it. Oh, okay, I need a weapon, of course, yeah, and it's the only weapon I've got, so why not have a great sword? I'm going to tell you why not. because I don't plan on using a greatsword. So I'm going to unequip it. And the moment I kill something with that greatsword, I'm going to get the weapon skill line. You see where it's at the corner? Killing an enemy with a weapon equipped with will unlock the new skill line. I do not want the greatsword or the two-hander in this case skill line, which kind of sounds crazy to most people, I'm sure. But it just gets cluttered on your skills, and it's just one extra thing to have to scroll through if you're never ever going to use a greatsword. And this is going to be a Magicka character. I have no intention of running a greatsword. I would rather punch my fists at this point than to equip a greatsword. Yeah, I'm that pedantic. The OCD is that bad, so rather now. So go through the tutorial. Pretty self-explanatory. We have to get through all this.
More Daedra on the way.
Yeah, you're all going to have to do this at some point, because the Wailing Prison, like, yeah, it's got a Sky Shard in here as well, so even if you... and skill points attached to it, so if you didn't want to... even if you didn't want to do this, you're going to have to. It's got Cold Harbor Black ultimately as well. You can't get Cold Harbor Black without doing this one. I have a look in here just in case there's anything interesting, but there never is. Don't know why bother. Block. L2 as well. It teaches you L2, that's really funny in this as well. It teaches you L2 like in the second fight of the game, and the amount of people that don't know how to block, insane. Block is the most powerful button in the game. Mitigates 80% damage in a lot of circumstances. And yeah, nobody blocks. I don't understand it. And then they wonder why they're dying.
Prisoner in this place. You must rescue me, and I in turn must rescue you.
Hold a moment. Come here. We need to talk.
I usually skip through all this stuff, but nobody's here to read it. If you want to read the quest line, then you're more than welcome to afterwards. I'll just have a quick look around here as well. See if there's anything interesting. I don't think there's any weapons out here to begin with. So I'm after either a Resto Staff or an Inferno Staff. I'm happy to use either right now, because I'll eventually use both skill lines. Oh, here we go. So yeah, you see he's got a monster... let's talk about the monster difficulty. If you look on his health bar on the top, yeah, he's got like a bar, and it shows, yeah, the more bars he's got, the more difficult the monster. Just keep punching him. There we go.
Well played, friend.
There are two school of thoughts here as well to your first skill, because I'm gonna have my first skill here, so I'm gonna hold down. I'm gonna go all Magicka, because I am gonna be Magicka. Again, it's not like Skyrim. You go health if you're a tank. You go stamina if you're going to be a stamina character. You go Magicka if you're going to Magicka. Hybrid is very difficult in this game, and I wouldn't recommend it to beginners. So I'd recommend choosing one of those things. I would recommend you go in DPS or healer until you've got yourself into a position where you've got CP, where you can start a new character as tank or something, because the tank, you're going to have very little DPS and you're going to have a hard time leveling it up. Even experienced people with, like, you know, 1500 CP will still actually level their tanks as DPS to begin with, just to make sure they can get stuff cleared and get skill points easily, and then they'll switch and respec to their tank setups once they get there. But yeah, although queuing for dungeons is easier, so that's the only downside. If you're a tank, obviously it's much easier. The only downside of being a DPS is, yeah, your queuing times are going to be much longer. So yeah, I'm going to choose a Magicka. Dump all my attributes into Magicka. I'm going to have nothing in anything else. And my first skill, I mean, I can make a few different choices here, what my first skill is going to be, but having no weapon as well, and only being able to punch, it's probably a good idea to actually have a damage skill, rather than having one that's... They're actually all damage skills for a Nightblade as well, which is lucky. But some of them, you usually have a defensive one, a heal one, and a damage one. Whereas with the Nightblade, they're all damage. This one's kind of nice to have, Strive. It's going to be one I'm going to use later on as Swallow Soul. I'll put it in my spammable. I always put in my L1 button, unless I'm a Templar for some reason. I use triangle, but that's just me being weird. You can put anywhere you want to put in, wherever you find most comfortable. But yeah, L1 for me is the easy one. And so yeah, my spammable attack, damage attack, is now in L1. Running on through. Did I collect the daily rewards, by the way? I can't remember if I did. There's daily rewards as well. I see. Oh, it's really nice because like it's food for this day, and so actually I've only got 2 days of it left to get. That's bad, isn't it? Okay, so so the daily reward, I got food. You'll notice straight away into my inventory I got some slaughter balls, and so I can use those that food, and you see it's going to boost my stats, and it's going to last for 2 hours. I highly recommend running food. If you're not running food, you're probably doing everything wrong. It's the very most basic thing. You can find it all around the place, food, so you can and it'll boost various stats. You're not going to want it all. You're probably going to start to find that you get a favourite food, like this one we call Tri-Stat, because it's got all 3 stats. I personally like a dual stat food, so for me it would be Magicka and health. I don't need any stamina, because I'm not going to run any stamina skills. The extra bit of health's nice, but obviously putting everything into Magicka anyway, so may as well use that. So I'm going to go with eating this. You can actually slot it if you want to quick slot it in, so if you ever run out during combat you can always, like a potion, you can pop it, but because I'm probably not going to use this food other than because it's free right now, I'm just going to keep it unslotted and just take it for now. You'll see me eat. You'll see also that chicken drumstick above me lets me know that I've eaten food, and so therefore I've got a bit of a bonus going on right now, and you'll see my character sheet also that I've got all primary stats increased, and you'll see that my health, Magicka and stamina have actually gone up. I didn't show you my base ones, but they've all gone up considerably, making life a lot easier. It makes my abilities hit harder. It makes me a bit beefier, so I don't die so often. The stamina is kind of nice to begin with, because if you need to dodge roll to dodge stuff, then that kind of helps. Okay, once I'm out here into the Wailing Prison, I'll be able to do the first thing that I want to do. Okay, so we're here in the Wailing Prison. We're in the first part. You'll see people running around here, you'll see other players now for the first time, and they're probably running around leveling up, killing stuff. Like this dude is here. He seems, I don't know if he's doing the quest or if he's actually just running around and killing stuff. He looks like he's just aggroing and killing as much as you want. You don't have to kill anything here if you didn't want to. And there goes another new player, Jimbo. So basically in here, this place will have a zone chat too, where we can actually use the /Z, hit space, and you can see I can say hi to everywhere, the entire place. And that will tell this entire zone, the entire area here in the Wailing Prison will have seen my message. Hitting say will just be local, hi locals, and that'll just be in my little area. You'll see a little bubble going above my head as well. If nobody's in my vicinity, nobody will have seen that. If you want a slightly wider vicinity, you can yell, so /yell, and go hi wider community. Yeah, eventually probably somebody's going to see this and just start shouting back at me. You can whisper and stuff like that as well, but yeah, I'm just going to leave it on safe for now, just in case I accidentally do type anything and I don't want the zone to see it. Yeah. Here's a dude here. I'm going to try and go back. You see there's quite a few people coming out. Okay, so I'm out here in the... Oh, he's got his Impale gun. So before I do anything else, I am actually going to do one of the things I would recommend doing, and that's finding yourself a guild. It really helps because A, it makes you feel less lonely in the world when you're first starting out, and B, I'll show you later in a little while how much easier it is to unlock way shrines and be able to find different places in the world much quicker than having to just run around, because right now we're slow. If we do eventually get a mount, which we don't, you don't start with a horse, you don't get one until level 10, so you'll notice in my mounts I've got 0. They're not collected, nothing's collected. You can buy one from the Crown Store. Don't recommend it to begin with, because you don't know if you're going to like the game, so why spend money on a game that you're not sure about yet. I've no doubt eventually you will buy mounts, because you will fall in love with the game, as we all do, but yeah, just hold off on that first. part. So, but anyway, for traveling purposes, I need a guild, and I'm going to look for social guilds maybe, and have a look and see. You see all the these guilds here have got like lots of different members. There's lots of different ways you can join these guilds and go, oh my gosh, you know, please take me, please have me. And like some people will have like they'll have like restrictions and requirements for you to join their guild. For instance, you might need to join a guild that's got like a non-elitist melting pot kind of guild. What a great thingy! But there might be certain requirements they'll ask for you. One thing I do recommend is read through the actual the listings, because it might be not a guild that suits you. You might immediately see something and go, oh, you know what, I didn't see that. You know, I didn't see that they had these requirements. I didn't see they had these rules that you just don't want to. You know, you might be a bit of a rule breaker, or you might play in a certain way and just think, you know, just be a bit smart about when you're applying to these guilds. Don't just apply because they've got lots of active members, because there's like thousands and thousands of guilds out there. Apply to a guild because it suits and it fits you. So take your time to look through these guilds. Oh, he just happens to be a good guild. Yeah, you'll also notice as well on the actual the guild themselves when they're founded, their style of play. So if you want a more casual or hardcore, they'll change that around a little bit, and they do this. The guild masters will do this on purpose, so they target. I mean, yeah, and they'll say that they run specific things. Some are dishonest about it, and they'll say, "Oh, we're really friendly, you know, blah blah blah," and they won't be. But most are pretty good, you know, and accommodating. So, but as I say, picking the right guild is really important. Don't go around applying as well to like 20 guilds, because you can only have 5 guild spots, and especially if you've got one that you really want to be in, and you'll end up like the other five of the others will just pick you up, and that one that you want to be in can no longer accept your application, and so you'll get rejected, and yeah, often they won't even tell you why. And so you know it's much more difficult to get into a guild once you've been rejected that way, because they may add you to a blacklist because, oh, you know, they're just like a guild spammer. So I'd highly recommend just applying to a guild that you want to be in. As I say, do read as well. Like here, like this one here says, we ask that all members be mindful of each other and abuse of any kind of abuse. So just that's a fairly tolerant guild. There are lots of applications daily, so please specify reasons. That's really important. Don't just leave a blank message if you want to apply to a guild. I happen to know this guild because it happens to be my own. So I'll just say, hi, add me please, because I'm kind of great. Just kidding. Don't sound like a douche when you apply for these guilds. I would like to join because I love the name of the guild and sounds fun. That will get you in our guild. Well, it will get me in my guild because I know, because I'll get accepted eventually. Brandy's sitting next to me going, no. Okay, so and be patient, because like not all your application might not be accepted straight away because somebody might not be online. For instance, I know for a fact right now that the GM is not online to accept my application because he's me, and I'm on a different account. Oh, it's Brandy as well, but she's also not on because I can see her screen. Okay, so we're out here. Gonna fight some stuff. I'm gonna use my Swallow Soul. See, it does more damage than punching them. Still not a great amount of damage because I still don't have a weapon, and the weapon does make a difference. So I'm gonna have a look. I need some lockpicks later on, so I'll take some lockpicks. I don't need ash, that's trash. Quite literally. I'm going to have a look, see if I can find anything that might resemble a weapon. Oh, clothing. I'm going to take both of those, and I'll show you for why in a second. One is light, one is heavy. We're probably going to run a lot of light stuff, being Magicka. I'm going to take that because I don't know that recipe. You see my numbers as well. It's up sometimes the yellow, that means I've critted. Another great sword. I'm actually going to take it because it's a value, but I'm not going to use it, and I can sell it. But I don't want either of those things because I don't have a craft bag. But if you can pretty much loot anything that goes into a craft bag if you have one. If you've got SO Plus, yeah, just loot everything. I don't have one, so I am not going to loot everything. I'm going to be very particular about what I pick up. as soon as you get that craft bag, you will literally just want to be looting everything. SO Plus, for no other reason. The craft bag is worth it. People will tell you that as well. I'm getting XP at least from killing these guys. I'll take the scraps. That's one thing I will take. And I'll take any sort of like those kind of things that drop off. I probably should have took that decorative wax actually to get that achievement. Where was it? Let me go back and get that decorative wax. I'll get myself my achievement. What was it in here? There it is. There you go. A wax harvester. Okay, so I can't find any weapons around here, but I do have a couple of items of clothing that or yeah, at least one item. For now, I'm going to put on the light piece. Okay. So yeah, I've got some gloves on, which is all good because the clothing I've got on right now is just rags. See, it's not even giving me any sort of like bonus. In fact, if you didn't want it, you could just like R3 and destroy it because it's giving you no bonus whatsoever. And so therefore you can see when you've got clothes, what items of clothing you've got missing by just looking. Okay. But those rags give you, they have no value and they give you no bonuses. The reason you might want to destroy them like I did is like, as I say, so you can see when you've got an item on. And you can see your character like build up. I'll take the gold. I'm going to leave the fishing stuff. Lots of ash around here, I don't know why. I'm going to leave that natural water. Still looking for urns and stuff. Do take your time. A lot of people will rush to get out of this place, but this place has got some decent loot in it. Especially for beginners, if you've got no gold, and you're going to want a little bit of gold when you come out. And that's one of the reasons I picked that one item up. 1 gold is not going to be enough. But because I've only got 60 spaces, but like anything that's worth a little bit of money, take it if it's worth more than like 10 gold, because we're going to need it when we go a little bit into it a little bit later on. Okay, right here we need to go into sneak. R3 is what you sneak with. I think that's similar to I think that's the same thing. Oh, he detected me, so I need to go back into sneak. And I need to put a full heavy attack on while I'm in sneak. Boom! There you go. Just like Skyrim. Yeah, if you're in sneak and you hit something, it hits a lot harder.
While he's blinded, we must get to the prophet's cell.
Okay, oh. That also completed that little thing. It's just like a tutorial, this entire area. Some gold. I really could do with some clothing there. And a weapon would be nice. Okay. He's going to carry on talking from experience, I know. So you just leave him talking while you can come back here and loot.
The door's warded. We'll never get in this way.
Dagger. It's not worth anything either. It's got no value whatsoever. So I'm just going to leave it there. There is a possibility you might want to go dual wield even as magic, especially as it stands right now. But yeah, I'm not wanting to do that. And here's what we call Cadwell. I'm not going to ruin the storyline for you guys. Carry on, enjoy him at your will. There's a backpack there. Let's try that. No. I know most of the barrels and sacks are just going to have food in, so I'm not after food. I'm specifically looking for weapons, etc. There's no urns back here, so it looks like we're going into the next room. My Blue Raven.
The sooner you get that door open, the sooner we can get
this
out.
one's got, yeah, you can just take forever and a day on this one. I think it's got a minute. It's a trivial lock. You can force lock it at 100%, but don't force lock it. It's going to give you XP for unlocking it, and it's going to actually help you out. See, you've got 70 experience for unlocking that door. If you force locked it, you get 0 experience. And especially as it is right now with everybody wanting XP, yeah, I wouldn't recommend force locking anything right now. We're getting close to level 3. We're going to be able to put another skill point in, and we're going to be able to have another ability as well, be able to unlock. Okay, let's see what's in there. Nothing. Nope. Is that no? Oh yeah. I swear sometimes I'm pretty sure I've seen weapons laying around next to these guys. See, like there's a dagger. I don't want the dagger, but I'll have a look at it, see if it's worth anything. Because it might be worth something. Have a look. No. I'm going to destroy it. I don't want it. Oh, there's a robe. It's not worth anything. And it's not going to give me any bonus whatsoever to my thing, I don't think. I'll have a look in a second. What does do? Stop surprising me. It might give me a bonus to my armor. Oh, it does. It gives me armor bonus. There we go. So I'm going to put that on. Hey, I've got a robe. Awesome. So I've now got 2 light pieces on, which is going to help my Magicka. Because Magicka users are going to wear light armor. Which is awesome. You can pull your map up and have a look. Because I know that some of these dead ends here have like urns and things in. Going to keep going around. Ooh. You actually hear the music change as well, whenever there's a fight about to happen. Or if somebody spotted you.
That might have been a fair fight, if there were 3 of you.
You don't have to stop and kill all this stuff, so other players will kill, but I wanted, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. I want to level up. Okay, oh, I got another 45 meal, which is nice. It goes into my thingy. Means I got 3 now, or I actually got 2 left again. I've never eaten 1. I could spend another skill point. Again, Damager is probably going to be really important, but because I'm a Nightblade, I actually want to get that Veiled Strike. I'm not going to use Veiled Strike. It's close up, but the reason I'm going to get it is because you cannot unlock anything else in this skill line unless you have something from this from the shadow on your bar. See, only my Siphon's leveling up. Oh, well, that dude came back quick. Second. So I'm only gaining, yeah, so my Strife's leveled up. I'm only gaining skill line from Siphoning, and I want to gain some from Shadow as well. So to be able to level that Shadow up a little bit, I'm going to put on Veiled Strike. I'm going to just quickly slot it into that position there. I want 1 from each of those skill lines is ideally what I want to begin with. Oh, sash. Okay, now this is why I said before about keeping that heavy piece on me as well. Okay, I now have 3 pieces of light armor I can put on. Now, if I put the heavy on, let's just out of interest. Actually, let me destroy those soul shipping gloves. If I put the heavy piece on, okay, so I've got heavy gauntlets on. I've taken off those. They're worth more armor, see. But I'm going to put my light sash on. I've got 2 pieces of light on and 1 heavy. Whilst the heavy is giving me more bonus right now for defense, the light eventually is going to give me more bonus for Magicka. To have the more light I've got on, the better. And stamina would be medium, and obviously health bonuses, especially if you're running all heavy pieces. Okay, so I'm going to put on this light piece that I was talking about now, because I've got 3 pieces. Look at that. My skill line gained light armor. You have to have 3 pieces of a weight of armor on to unlock the skill line. Now you see that it's already at level 3. It's actually been leveling up without my all pieces being on. As long as I have at least 1 piece on, it will continue to level up. So for that reason, now I've unlocked it, I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to put on those iron gauntlets, because even though I haven't unlocked the skill line yet to be able to see, everything I kill and gain XP for now, I'll still get some XP towards my heavy armor line, which I'm still going to want to use some of the passives for that as well. So I'm going to keep that in there. I'm going to actually look at that. You see how it reduces and the snares and stuff. The light armor, it's really good for sprinting, but later on it's going to be good for Magicka reduction and magic recovery and spell resistance, etc., and spell critical and spell penetration. It's all because of light armor passives. You get bonuses and penalties as well for each one. The bonuses, of course, taking reduced damage from magical attacks, etc., and things like that. But you got some penalties along with it as well. But it definitely outweighs the good, outweighs the bad. If you're a magic user, to have light armor on. So killing that there, got myself 40 experience, and that 40 experience is also 40 EXP towards my heavy armor line now. I've got one piece on. The more pieces you have on as well of something, the quicker that particular skill line will level. So if I did put all 3 in my light on, it would level my light armor quicker, which is kind of nice, but I also want to be have a little bit of balance as I level up. The same goes for your skill lines as well. If I had like 3, if I had more of the shadow abilities in, or more of the siphoning, etc., it would level that up quicker. Lots of daggers around. Not sure how that skeleton got in there.
The Prophet's cage should be just ahead.
Okay.
Quickly now, we haven't much time.
Keep going through.
Alright. Good news is we made it here in one piece.
This isn't too long actually, this entire first opening quest area. It can feel like quite long when you first start playing, but by the second or third character you bring through here, you get through much quicker. It's only because I'm stopping and looting for everything. Hopefully, by the time I've completed this, I'll have my, or maybe not. I was hoping to have my guild fighting accepted, but it's okay. It's all good. As Randy closes it up. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. These guys. The actual Veiled Strike, by the way, the one I bought, actually does hit harder than Strife, but it doesn't have the heal attached to it as well, so it's a trade-off. Plus the fact it's not ranged, you have to be right close. It's a melee skill to use a Veiled Strike.
Quickly now.
I want to use the spoil storylines for anybody. My character feels really slow. Maybe if I actually click the button, it would speed up. You can sprint the same way as well, using L3. Oh, it is L3. I know it's L1, isn't it, on Skyrim?
The mortal thinks it can define me.
Moloch Ball.
Soon your world will be in my chains.
You notice we've still got no weapon. I'm still looking for a weapon. I don't know why that most of the new zones, the new starter places, will actually give you a weapon fairly early on as well. But they're going to give me a necklace here. That's nice of them. So I can equip a piece of jewellery. Have a bit of extra health. It's kind of nice. And he teaches you here about sky shards and how important they are. These are all around Tamriel.
Shard of Aetherius, fall upon us now and anoint us with your blessing.
And there'll be something that I will go straight after.
Sky shard.
Pretty early on, sky shards, and I'll show you what I do for skill points early on, because skill points are a key to a success.
Great Akatorch, dragon god of time.
Oh, thank you.
Your strength.
We now have a
Let the
guild,
way be opened.
from a
Let
subtle
these
hint.
wandering souls return home. Let the will of
One thing it does do, as soon as you it jumps you straight into a guild chat the moment you join a guild. So I tend to leave the channel. I don't want to be accidentally caught in there. like the way she's immediately put no vet content and rude. Brandy's like all over it. Okay, so now we take to our first starter zone. These starter zones, this is what we got. I would consider the true starter zone, because that first one you're in there very temporarily. It's the tutorial zone. This starter zone is chosen specifically for me because I'm Daggerfall. Not because I'm Daggerfall Wolf or anything like that, but because my character I chose was Breton. And unless you have the Any Race, Any Alliance, then all Bretons created, or all Orcs, all Red Guards, and yeah, will all be considered part of the Daggerfall Covenant. And so therefore, yeah, we end up starting in Daggerfall. If you want to start in a different place to here, then you'll have to choose a different race and a different yeah, alliance, therefore. So if you chose a Khajiit, for instance, you'd start in the Aldemir Dominion. Or if you chose a Dark Elf, you would start in the Ebonheart Pact. So yeah, you'd be in a different place right now to me, but we start right here. Okay. I'm not going to go into too much longer with this. I'm just going to do one or two extra things before I finish this first episode. Okay, so in the starter zone, we come out. We can take the starter quest. Something I'd recommend you doing eventually. It's not something I do immediately. I try to avoid quests to begin with. I want to get myself established as a character first. So questing is something you can jump straight into if you wanted to, if that was what your thing is. And believe me, I do enjoy questing. But for the purposes of these videos and this tutorial, I am not going to do any quests in that fashion. Especially, you'll see that like he's got a quest mark, a specific quest marker on his head. That quest marker itself, whilst it doesn't look any different to anything we've seen so far, it is going to be different. That's actually what we call a main story quest icon. It's got a specific icon on it, and I'll show you the difference when I see one that isn't a main story quest icon. I am going to come into here. This is something I always do. I sneak down and I steal the alchemy bottles. In the hope to get some potions. There's one, and there's two. Okay, stolen items don't stack with non-stolen items, which is kind of a pain, but however, right now, what that's done is it's allowed me to at least get a potion of health, just in case I need it. I'm going to quick slot that in my upper one there, and keep it unlocked and ready to go. Those books are good as well. They don't give you anything, but they do go into your eidetic library once that's completed, but that's really advanced. But yeah, I tend to read any glowing book just to stop it glowing. So here we are, we're out in the world. The quest givers followed us out a little bit here as well, I think, but we're out in Stros M'Kai and Port Hunding. Every zone will have sky shards like we saw. And my first job in this particular zone is I'm going to go straight after the sky shards, because 3 sky shards equals 1 skill point. And whilst I did just level up or get a skill point, therefore I can put my Assassin's Blade in. So now I've got 1 of everything. Assassin's Blade is actually an execute as well, which is really nice. It's a really good execute. I'm actually going to go now looking for sky shards because I want more skill points, because as you can see I can still spend more skill points. I still can spend in one light armor passive, you know, and so if I can spend the points, it means I can strengthen my character, especially passives. Those passives are really going to help. I happen to know where the sky shards are. I've played quite a few times in this game. I've got quite a few hours logged. Don't ask how many, it's too many. So yeah, I'm just going to go around and grab some of the sky shards. I'm still looking for a weapon as well. You'll still notice I'm still, yeah, unarmed, which isn't a thing in SO. Unfortunately, people have been asking for a monk style character, but you know, at this moment in time, unarmed is still not a thing.
I got 20 on the little guy.
I'm just having a quick look in here just in case there's anything in here, like a chest. Because I do have a couple of lockpicks. One of those books I was talking about.
Here and waiting for a ship.
These things around as well. You'll see these cooking fires.
I remain
You're able to make your own food if you've got ingredients and if you know the recipes. Talking of recipes, didn't I pick up a recipe? I think I did. Yeah, I picked up a recipe for the red RB. I tend to learn anything like that because it gives you your skill line, as you just saw. So it really helps you your EXP up. Okay. Oh, also got my sealed, which it gave me the Sentinel's Lash, which I don't want, but it did give me a medium armor piece, which is really nice because now I'm wearing one of each. So whilst it's not going to unlock my medium armor because I've only got one piece on, one thing it is going to do for me is it's mean I've got one light, one medium, one heavy on, and it means my skill lines, even if I can't see them leveling up, they're all three of them leveling up now. For every time I gain XP. The Sentinel's Lash is a bow. It gives it to you. Again, just like the others, I do not want a bow, even though it's training, and it will give me more experience, etc. I don't want it. It's valueless as well, and when you break it down, you get nothing. So, and the same with that cast-off sword. Actually, it's valueless. Has no gold value. This has no gold value. I can now get rid of it. There's no point breaking it down. But this one, I could get the green item out of it if I broke it down, so I'm going to keep it. Somebody's breath of life in me. We're still on the look here for... oh, there's actually a pattern in there. Make sure you sneaked if you're trying to steal something. I'm only stealing it because I can actually learn it. And yeah, and so gave me the skill line clothing. Nice. I'm still looking for the remaining sky shards. I know there's 3 in this zone. You can actually go now to your starter, open zone guide, and you can see how many sky shards that you haven't got yet in this zone. There's 2 more. I'm gonna lead you straight to those 2. Ignore these guys here. These guys are bots, and they're bots that don't get purged by ZeniMax ever. Because yeah, if we were exploiting like that, we'd be purged. I guarantee it. But yeah, that's a story for another day. There's a blue law book here. These blue ones, if you see one of these out in the world, do get it. Especially if you're Magicka. It's going to increase your Mage's Guild, even though it's not increasing it right now. You can't see it, but you will in a second once I join the guilds. It'll still increase it secretly, like it does the armor. You won't see it, but it is increasing it. As I say, I've still got no mount. I'm not worried about taking any of the nodes or anything like that. I am looking around though for... oh, actually, let me just have a quick look here. There's a potential here. It's not... then I'll take the node, but like... I don't actually want any of this stuff from it. If you do go for a node as well, and you haven't got auto loot on, please take everything off the node. Because if you don't, if you just say, if I looted this one here, let's say for instance, I'll have a look what's on this one. It might be there's only jute on there. If I just take the jute off and leave the worms, it leaves the node, and that node never respawns until somebody comes and takes the worms off it. So yeah, I always take everything off, just so it disappears, and it will eventually respawn with everything back on it again. Otherwise, it's just going to be left there with just those things on until somebody actually just comes and takes the crawlers. So it's just considerate. Quite a lot of people won't though. They'll just go, oh, you know, somebody else will take it, and you know, it can be trash for them to actually get rid of. But like, kind of rude. But nodes don't respawn. Unless you'll find as well, nodes in a specific area, they act in a certain way. None of the area nodes will respawn until they've all been looted, or they won't respawn in a timely fashion, shall I say. You have to wait like the full 5 minutes or something cooldown for them to... I'm not worried about that disguise. That's part of the quest. If you pick up that disguise, then you end up running the quest. Is that a chest or trunk there? Okay. That's a medium belt. Here's the final sky shard. I wasn't just running here randomly. I did know where I was going, I swear. Oh, I already got a skill point, didn't I? Because I got the one out of the Wailing Prison, so I can actually spend another skill point. Which I'm actually going to spend on Shadow Cloak rather than on my light armor, because now I've got another skill available to me. And this is a really, really, really good skill for Nightblades. All of a sudden now, I don't have to fight everything if I don't want to. As I'm running through, and this is one of the reasons you can see like the others are grayed out because they need an enemy to hit them. See, I can hit an enemy there, whereas like Shadow Cloak, you don't. Which is why I keep my bars up. You can just hit it, and for a couple of seconds, you're invisible to everybody. So you can just literally walk next to enemies and they can't see you. You just keep tapping it. Great skill for a Nightblade to have. Okay, so I've got my way shrine unlocked. You do start with certain way shrines unlocked in the game, which is what I'm going to use first. You can see there's not many though. The greyed out ones are the ones that you don't own, the DLCs of, so if you've got SO Plus, everything will be white there. But you can go through this. These are the beginner part zones, so this is like, whilst I'm in the starter zone, these are the opening zones for each faction. This one here is Glenumbra, that opens for the Daggerfall Covenant. This one here is Aradon, and it opens, Volkagard, it opens for Aradon, and it opens for the Aldemiri. This one here is Stonefalls in Davant's Watch, and this one opens for the Ebonheart Pact storylines. So I'm going to go to Daggerfall, because, I'm part of the Daggerfall Covenant, and that's the place I want to go first. It's also the place I know pretty well, and it's also the place where you would need to go to your starter zone. If you were Aldemiri Dominion, to join your guilds, you'd need to go to your starter zone. You could go to Aradon. If you were Ebonheart, you would have to go to Davant's Watch to join your guilds. For me, I'm going to go to Glenumbra and Daggerfall itself to join my guilds, because those options to join the guilds aren't there unless you go to your particular faction's opening zone. Load screen to Glenumbra. But yeah, this is one of the first things you should do, mainly for the Fighters Guild in particular, because Fighters Guild, unlike Mages Guild, when you pick up lore books, the Fighters Guild does not increase passively for anything that would increase your Fighters Guild normally, like killing undead. It's not going to increase unless you are a member of the guild. The same goes for Undaunted. Oh no, Undaunted is different actually. Undaunted does increase if you get Undaunted achievements. And increase secretly, it just doesn't tell you until you join the guild. Oh, I'm at level 4. You'll notice straight off the Prophet will have found you.
There you are.
And
You're not.
yeah, he's gonna. You may as well talk to him, because yeah, he's not gonna go away. He's gonna keep pestering you until you do. And that's the main story quest. Okay, you see now the quest icons are different here. You see they're all different. These aren't main story quests, that's why. And so yeah, they have a definite look if it's main story. Get these homestone breeches. I don't think I have any legs at all, do I? Nope. So I've taken those as the reward.
Stay out of trouble and we'll get along just fine.
Awesome. Can I enchant? Yeah. And I actually have an enchantment glyph now, so I can actually enchant these, which I will do. Get an extra bit of health. There we go. So that's the only piece of enchantment I think I've got. Oh no, that's not. That's enchanted with stamina as well. So, yeah. Give me a little bit of extra health. But I'm mainly here because I want to speak to this person here. It doesn't look like there's any special icon, but I know that Mighty Moidra is actually the leader for Daggerfall of the Undaunted. So speaking to Mighty Moidra, it's going to become Undaunted. It says it starts one of the Undaunted quests, which is great. It starts a quest, but it also gives me that skill line, Undaunted. So now I can start leveling that up as well, which has some really nice passives, some really strong passives in. So you're going to want to join that straight away. Don't worry about it. You don't have to do the quest just to unlock the skill line. And anything you do in dungeons and delves, achievement-wise, you will gain Undaunted points now for as well. So if you get an achievement for an Undaunted achievement, it will give you Undaunted points and advance that skill line. These are for crafting certifications. They'll stand outside. If you're going to be a crafter, then I'd recommend you doing them. I'm actually going to speak to Milleneth just to say, hey, tell me how crafting is. I'm ready for certification. And it's just a simple complete quest. You can actually then go through each particular crafting individually if you wanted to. But I just wanted just to get that basic one, just to get a bit of a boost of gold. I needed that 84 gold, and I'll show you why in a second. Go to the Hall Steward of the Fighters Guild. I'm here in the Fighters Guild. I'm going to join the Fighters Guild. I'm ready to join. Complete the quest. There you go. I get a bit of experience, and I get a bit of gold as well. Wonderful, because I'm going to need that gold. Keep talking about why I'm going to need it in a second. Obviously, we always need gold, but I need it specifically to begin with to start me off. And I'm going to join the Mages Guild. What do I get returned? Well, extra 21 gold there for doing that. And 5 Mages Guild points. And those 5 Mages Guild points came because I found a lore book. I wouldn't have got those unless I'd found that lore book, where I accumulated those for it. Okay, so let me have a look at my inventory. I'm currently at 151 gold. I need another 99 gold for what I want to do, but I'll show you that in a second. So I need to find out how I'm going to make 99 gold pretty quickly and easily. Okay, it's not going to be quick and easy at all, but like, it's hard. Gold is hard to come by when you first start this game. It's going to cost me 9 gold to repair. I'm actually not going to repair, because what's the point in repairing gear that I'm going to eventually lose? I'm going to get rid of this, even though it's worthless. There's a bug right now as well with selling stuff. It doesn't disappear straight away. But if I go back, it's gone. See, it's just broken. I'm going to sell those for 6 gold. I'm actually going to sell these for 2 and 2. They're probably worth more on the market. The same as I know these are probably worth more if I sold them to players. I'm not going to sell raw materials. They're definitely worth more. So keep your raw materials. Don't worry about those. Keep your soul gems as well. Don't sell a soul gem. You're going to need those. I'm going to sell that. And you can't sell the food right now, so don't worry about that. So I've sold everything I pretty much can sell, but I'm not going to use right now. And I've still only got 184 gold. I'm also still short of a staff. I still don't have a weapon. I've come all the way through this so far and still don't have a weapon. So I'm now a member of the guilds, but now I need desperately to get myself a weapon. So let's have a look at where I can get one. I need a staff, so woodworkers, etc. are going to have staves about, or chests. If I can find chests, might have a staff in it or something like that. But right now, I am going to go to the guild. This is why I said to join a guild to begin with, especially one that's got a fair amount of members in. One that's a good guild that you might want to play with as well at some points is always an advantage. But I'm going to go to the guild roster and see who's about. Okay, it's showing everybody now. I can hit R3, so hide offline, so I'm only seeing people who are online. Okay, I'm going to order them by location. Now, I can get to Aradon, because I've already got a way shrine there, but I cannot get to Balfoyan, so I'm going to, this Syndra Azul person here, I'm going to actually travel to them, travel to player. And then we're going to start to think about working, getting on a staff. If it drops us anywhere that we think we might be able to get a weapon from, then I'll use that. Balfoyan, I know, is the second portion starter zone of the Ebonheart Pact. So I'm not too far away from where Stonefalls is as well. But also, it has a couple of things in this place that I know of. This is where knowledge of the game comes in a little bit. That it's got easy access to a couple of sky shards. Doesn't matter which way shrine it drops me out. I'm going to have easy access to a sky shard. But this place in particular has very, very easy access to chests. I keep going to mount even though I don't have a mount. Let's have a look. Is there a chest up here? Nope. There's a runestone there. I'm going to keep looking on these. The reason I'm going to keep looking on these is I'm looking for anything that I can potentially sell. And not necessarily to a vendor, but sell to a player.
You lend a helping hand.
No weapons or anything on there. I'm looking down here. You see there? There's a chest there. There's a chest there. We are going to go open some chests. Okay. I only have 9 lockpicks, but that's okay. This is going to give us the gold we need. There's another 15 gold. Oh, there's a lightning staff. Exactly what we wanted. We wanted a staff, and that's exactly what we got. Now we have a weapon, and we have a magical weapon that we needed. With some luck, we'll land a set piece out of one of these. The armour of the trainees, what drops from these zones. There we go, great sword. Typically we didn't want a great sword, but that's okay. We'll take it because it's worth our money, and we can sell it. I'm just looking around here because I know that there are other chests around here. Let's have a look over there. There's not a chest over there. Oh, there is a chest over there. Just literally spawned as I was looking. Other people also know that there are chests around here, so it's quite competitive in Balfoyen. We have a weird thing here, unlocking the chests while we're swimming. Tread water, unlocking chests. It's got to be some sort of crazy skill, hasn't it? Oh, got a lead as well. I got a robe of the trainee, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's see if I can actually, let's go this way around. I don't think I can equip while I'm swimming. Pretty sure you can't, but oh, you can. Crazy! I'll change clothes while I'm in the water. So I got myself a trainee. Yeah, it's a green, so it's worth more experience as well. It's also going to give me a bonus to Magicka, both ends up. So that's awesome. And it's also a set piece that will now bind to me, that will go into my sticker book. Which is what I'm going to do with the sword as well. The great sword, I want that to go in my sticker book as well. So the sticker book I'll actually talk about in a different episode, but whenever you see a set piece like this early on and you're just starting out, yeah, don't throw it away. Don't just destroy it or something. You can stick it, you can bind it to you by selling it to a vendor, or you can bind it to you by selling it to, or deconstructing it. But it will not bind to you if you just destroy it, and it will not bind to you if you give it away or sell it to an actual player. It also bind to you if you equip it, or you can bind to it by just literally choosing the option to bind. Which I'll show you the option to bind. Which is what I'm going to do just to make sure with this trainee. See, it says bind on equip not collected, so it's not in my sticker book. I am going to bind it to me. It means I can't sell it to another player and give it to another player. I can still send it to a merchant though. But yeah, now it's in my sticker book. Okay, so I've got that sky shot there. I'm going to go run across here because I know there's potential chests over here as well. There is the chest. Balfoyen is a really, really good place for chests. Like super strong. That's why as soon as I saw somebody here, as soon as I spotted Syndra here, I was going to travel to them straight away because, yeah, it's a great place just to come and get yourself a little bit of gear very quickly. Also to get you that bit of gold, because every chest has a bit of gold in it. It's not a lot to start with, but it's enough for the purposes we need for it. Good practice for lockpicking as well. At the same time, we're actually leveling up our Ledger Domain skill line here, which is also another nice skill line to have, especially as a Nightblade. Oh, now I've got Sabatons the Trainee, which is really nice. It's another set piece that I can put on. I didn't have anything on my feet, but now, not only that, you'll notice I've got 2 items of this 3-piece set. You can wear more of it, but you're only ever going to get 3 bonus items, bonuses from it. But yeah, that's really nice now because I get another Max Magicka boost. So my stats are really flying up now. I'm just going to see if there's a chest over here. No, it's not there. I think I can still get out this way though if I swim all the way around. I'm actually going to leave the one sky shard here because it's a little trickier to get to, and it's a bit slower to run to. But I think I can make it down to this one over here without falling asleep. Yeah, there's lots to loot in Balfoyen. Quite a lot to do. Another good little area here when I get into it. This is, as I say, this one's fairly close. Another highly recommended thing to do here in Balfoyen, especially if you're after like the new antiquity system, you're after leads. You've already seen I've got one lead from a chest. If you're after those leads and you wanted to, especially purple leads, then they drop from loot boxes, these loot boxes here. The only downside is if somebody spots you getting one of these loot boxes, it's going to get you a bounty, and the bounty is usually more than what you're going to get from the loot box itself. So yeah, you don't want to get caught. Just have a quick look, see what else I've got from here. Okay. Well, I got another skill point, didn't I? So I'll put that in a second because he's about to turn and go away. I'm about to be snuck. I've got a brief window here to be able to steal from this. I've got to be very quick. And I've got to loot it all. And I got myself some stolen items. And I got myself a bit of gold. And yeah, some XP as well. There's actually quite a lot in here, these loot boxes. We do have a little bit of an advantage. As you know, we're in Nightblade. So if we do get caught, we can sneak and get away from guards, etc. Which is kind of nice. We'll see, he can see us there, so we need him to turn around. Is he going to turn around? Oh, we can get it there. I've got a funny feeling we're going to get caught here. Oh, there we go, there's that other lead as well. Like I say, it's really nice, these loot boxes here. Really nice for boosting up some gold. You'll notice I'm looting everything, even though the items in there are only they aren't really worth anything. I think somebody else is going around them, so we'll leave them to it a little bit. Although there is a piece over here that I would like to take. This one. There's a guard there though, and you can see me. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous about that one. Because I've got stolen items on me now as well, so they're worth a little bit, so let's just leave that one. Let's not risk it. Another bot. There's lots of them in these starter zones, and another bot. Like I said, Zos have been a bit lazy at the moment, not getting rid of them. There's another one over there, another bot. I think there was another one up there as well. Okay, so now that we've got those items, let's have a look at our gold situation. We're now at 319, 250 was my target, we've got 319, so I'm going to go back to Daggerfall. I'd say the opening start of points of like when you first start a new character and you start a new count, you can feel a little bit grindy, and you definitely you can do it quicker than what I'm doing it here for definite. But hopefully this is yeah, it gives you a bit of a guideline as to what to do at the very beginning to maximise your time and to reach your potential. The unusually long to load team. It's not as unusual as you think. Well, certainly not as unusual as it states. Anytime now. Whenever you feel like it. And there we go. Okay, so we've got some stolen items on us. So with that in mind, I'm going to quickly go and get rid of those stolen items. killed me. I'm going to have a quick look in these crates as well, because when you steal from crates, unlike when you're just going into crates, there's a chance that when you steal from them, and barrels and things like that, that you can actually get, and sacks, you'll get a treasure rather than food. Like for that, 40 gold, I'll take that. I don't need that. That person can see me. I'm not going to take the mint. What's in the sack? Seaweed. Into green. What's in the crate? Ginseng. What's in the barrels? Nah. I don't want food, I want items that I can actually sell. So, before I quickly nip down there. Cool. I mean, if you do have a craft bag, I would advise you taking the food and then laundering it. And it will go straight into your craft bag, which will actually help your ledger domain, but because I don't have a craft bag, I'm literally only looking for items to sell. So I'm just going to grab that very quick. Okay, that's probably enough for now. I'll just quickly check these barrels, since they're here. Wow. There really is nothing in any of these. Crazies. Okay, so I'm going to go down the Outlaw Refuge. Fence, actually on the left hand side. Speak to the fence. Hey, fence. Okay, I have got some like these items on me, so I'm going to launder the small items, these ones here, so that's going to help my ledger domain go up. But all the other ones I'm going to sell. So now I've got myself 895 gold, which is kind of nice. Didn't take much work to get a bit of gold going. Stealing is a really good way to actually build your bank up to a quick, just especially early game. ZeniMax actually nerfed a well-known spot called Hadron's Caravan recently, and that was a really good place to get your ledger domain up and get a bit of early gold. It's nothing too excessive, but for some reason, after 5 or 6 years of it being the way it was deemed nerfable, which is exactly what happened. Shame really, because it was a good social place, but I think yeah. I think maybe with some of the new passives coming in, maybe it was deemed a little bit overpowered, but I didn't see it personally. There's a bit of a trade-off. Okay, so now we've got some gold. We've joined all the guilds. We've got a few sky shards and a few skills. Actually, skill points under our belt. We still took with which I didn't spend my skill points. Let me have a look, see where I can put these. I want to get probably Grim Focus is important to me. That's fairly high, low down, but Siphoning Strikes is also important to me. So, but I don't want Malevolent Offering at all. So I'm gonna wait that one out, and I'm gonna go with Teleport Strike, because I can still utilise that in some fashion. So now my bar is full. Also put a light armor passive in there. Let's get some extra recovery going on. So what I'm going to do now is the thing that I advise everybody to do every day. There's a 20-hour cooldown on it. You can only do it once a day. If you've got a new character, or you're planning on making a new character at any point, I'd advise you make this new character, and you can just, even if you're not going to play it to begin with, even if it's just at level 3, just come and give it a little bit of money and come and sit yourself at a stables that you can log into every day on that character. Just log in and just do your stables. I don't even have a mount at this point, but I'm still going to actually invest in the mount speed, because it's really important. See, I can't even afford a mount at this moment, but I know I will get one once I hit level 10, so I'm not worried about paying for one. But I am still going to do some riding speed. You can see the cooldown there. So in 20 hours time, you can time it so you can do it every 20 hours, but that would mean that at some point you're going to have to set an alarm up to get up in the middle of the night, which I don't recommend. So yeah, just once a day is certainly suffice. You can buy crown kits to actually make it faster. It's not worth it, not in my opinion. I mean, some people like it, but yeah, you may as well just wait it out. It is a bit of a grind. It's 180 days if you want to get it completely maxed out. But like you'll get little bonuses along the way, little ones that may be a daily reward occasionally, or you'll see ones as you level up. You'll get like the little increased mount speeds, etc. So it's shortened with just little bonuses just for playing the game. So, and plus the fact with the new system that's coming into place where we play the game, we can buy stuff that's coming in. Then that could be something that could help with mount speeds, etc. I certainly hope it does so. But yeah, the next time I log in to do the next episode, I'll probably have logged in a few times and done stables a few times, so I'll be a bit quicker. I won't have advanced any. I'm going to stay pretty much here until my next actual broadcast. So yeah, I'll see you on the next time. See you on the flip flop.